be here tonight. I'm trying to tell you, I don't know what we would have done. We have been so busy. When I tell you it's just been one thing after another, I don't even know what to tell you. God, one thing I can say is that God has definitely been working in the backgrounds like no other. Y'all, things have been happening, things have been popping off for us. And for me, God has just definitely been working a miracle in my life. God has done some things for me. And I promise you, I never thought that would happen. And then I was like, I'm sorry, y'all. Before we even get there, welcome to the show. I'm so excited. Did y'all see our new countdown timer? Y'all, we are moving on up. I told y'all, we getting ready to start doing new things. We're getting a new look. We got some things that are going to be popping off. I can't wait for you to see them. Please, y'all, if you are watching us live, go ahead and like and share, because tonight we are talking about, you heard what I said, because yeah, I said, yeah. Did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I said? I said, go like and share. See? You heard what I said. See, that's what I'm talking about. So, y'all, we want everybody to just join in tonight. We're gonna have fun. We got my girl on tonight, Pixie. She has a new event that she got popping off, and I want y'all to just join in. We're gonna talk about that tonight. But most of all, we want to talk about tonight is that I am so tripping right now because I got something that after I get through a motivational moment, then I'm going to show y'all that I'm so ecstatic about. Y'all, when I tell you God has been opening doors, I've told y'all so many times that God has been opening doors. And if he's opening doors for me, I know he's going to open doors for you. When I tell you things, I've been asking people to assist me and taking me and my business to the next level. Not necessarily their skill set, but just being able to give me that voice of knowledge, that voice of reason, that voice that can be able to say, hey, did you try it that way? Did you try it this way? Yes, I'll help you in this area. And that is what I have been getting. And when I tell you, this has blown me away on so many levels. I have been looking at things and doing things, and it's been so cool. Y'all, it's been so cool about the way things have been happening, the way things that have been popping off. And then something dropped in my spirit the other morning. I had to lead 6 a.m. prayer, and something dropped in my spirit, and I didn't know why. And I was like, God, is it for me to talk about this in prayer? Evidently it was. And then it just wouldn't I just couldn't let go of it. So this is going to be a motivational moment, but it's going to be in two parts because I can't go through all of this in one session. It's no way in the world. Y'all, when I thought about this and I read the scripture and I said, oh my God, this is me. And if this is me, this is so many other people that have gotten to this point in their lives, and and it feels like things are just now happening for you. You're feeling like, oh my God, I've been in the trenches. I've been working. I've been helping. I've been serving. I've been giving. And it seems like now, and this has been for years, you have done this, and you feel like now you are just now coming to the forefront. People are just now beginning to know your name, like on Cheers, where everybody knows your name. I can't get it out tonight. Oh, but that is the cool part, because we are all operating in that same place. We are operating in that place of, God is just getting ready to move us to another level and doing things that we probably had never thought that he would do. And so we have been working and working and working and working and giving and giving and giving and giving. And it's like, this is what I got to this scripture. And it's 2 Samuel 4:4. It's going to be odd because it messed me up when I got the revelation. It said, and Jonathan, Saul's son, had a son that was lame of his feet. He was 5 years old when the tidings came of Saul and Jonathan out of Jezreel. And his nurse took him up and fled. And it came to pass, as she made haste to flee, that he fell and became lame. And his name was Mephibosheth. I always mess his name up. So if y'all Bible scholars that know how to say it, just say it. Don't trip. Don't talk. Don't say it. She can't say it. You probably right. I always mess Mephibosheth's name up. But anyway, one thing that I looked at this, and it said, first of all, you tell us that he was lame in his feet. Then that tells me that this is leading up to something, because it's almost like foreshadowing. And then it said, when he was 5, the tidings came. So that means his father and his grandfather were killed. So the nurse decided to take him out and flee. to hide. And in haste, he failed. So I want you to think about you. Who has tried to help you? And in haste, they thought they were helping you. They thought they were serving you. They thought they were doing what they needed to do to help you survive and help you to live. But on the way, they dropped you and it failed and it hurt you. And you felt so bad. You were lame. You couldn't move. You were like, why me? Why did you get me to this point? And then you left me. Why me? Why did you show me how to do all of this? And now you're not taking me to the next level. Why me? Why did you show me how to do this just to help you? And now you can't help me. Why did you bring me here? You dropped me. You made me fall. And now I'm lame. Now I can't walk. I can't move. I can't think. I can't do anything. I'm just lame. I can't even move to the next level. But the one thing that you need to realize in this thing, they called him by name. We're not even looking at the point that he was the king. Nobody even goes back to this, that he was the king. Because technically now you got a king that's lame. You got a king that's been pushed into hiding, that people didn't even know he was the king. So think about this. Sometimes you're going to be in hiding, but while you're in hiding, you're going to be perfecting your gift. You may have a difficulty. You may have a disability, but you are still perfecting your gift. Because in that, you were developing your purpose. You were developing what God had really called you to do. And so now what we're going to talk about next week is how God is going to reveal to you, and everything that you thought you lost is going to be returned. And so that's why you cannot let your circumstances begin to take over you. You cannot let your circumstances change your mind of what your trajectory in your life is. You cannot let your circumstances, because somebody dropped you, somebody treated you bad, somebody talked about you, somebody stabbed you in the back, somebody did something to you that made you feel some kind of way. Yes, you got the evidence of it, but you don't have to operate in it. That's just like when you get a cut. It scabs up, it heals, but it might leave a scar. So that's what you got to think about. All of that stuff that happened to you is just a scar. It's just to remind you of what you have been delivered from and what you don't want to go back to. Yeah, I said it. What you don't want to go back to. And then I'm going to tell y'all something I did the other day. Sometimes for me, I have to do things to remind me that of what I am making the right decision. I made a phone call and the person was like, whatever. And I was like, oh, I mean absolutely nothing to you. So if you mean absolutely nothing, if I mean absolutely nothing to you, then why am I concerned? And I said, okay, God, I got it. This person dropped me, made me feel lame, and made me feel like I needed them to go to the next level. But see, the problem is I had to realize that somebody knew my name, that somebody knew who I was. Somebody had recognized that I can go to the next level without multiple people around me, that I can be used for his service and to grow what's going on. And I didn't even need to be in the midst of other people. Because see, when God knows your name, he's going to set you up in a way that you can't even make it that you're going to be like, what in the ham sandwich is going on? Because see, when God knows your name, he's going to start opening doors for you that you never thought would open. Anything that you were saying, oh no, we good. But see, the reason why you were saying, oh no, we good is because you thought you couldn't do it. You thought you wasn't qualified. You thought that you wasn't trying, that you was not called to that particular thing. But then when you sit back and look, as the old folks, when you sit back and think about it, you saw that God was setting you up for such a time as this. It was all a setup. Yes, they dropped you. Yes, again, they talked about you, stabbed you in the back. But guess what? That's what makes you qualified. See, that's why you can walk up with your head held high, and you know that you are the lender and not the borrower. You are the CEO of your life because God has called you for this. God has been training you in the background. And then when you know God has been training you in the background, the doors will be open. And then you have to step up and accept it and start to believe it. Stop doubting what God has shown you. I don't know who this is for tonight. You probably are feeling like you're lame in everything that you do. But guess what? You are not. You are not. And you know where you're really lame at? It's not in your feet. It's not in your head, in your hands. It's in your head. It's in your mind. You are holding you back. Today, you have got to stop holding you back. Because when you stop holding you back, then the doors that you didn't expect to open are getting ready to open wide. And guess what? Stop saying where to find. I can't afford it. Or I don't have it. Because when God gives you a vision, He's definitely going to give you provision. You want to know how I know? Because it showed me. He has made a way for me out of no way. He's made a way for me that I never expected to happen. He's made a way for me and brought people into my circle that has helped me go to the next level. When I tell you, when you give it over to God for real, and I say it for real, you know how we used to say in church, oh, you getting saved for real this time? This time, when you give it over to God for real, then you're going to start seeing the evidence. Then you're going to get people in your life that are going to give you constructive criticism. They're going to be able to tell you things to help you go to the next level and not stabbing you in the back. Because see, some people were telling you the right thing, but they wasn't telling you that for the right reason. They were telling you that to hold you back, not to make you better. There is a difference. There is a difference. And now you getting ready to experience something you have never experienced before. Somebody and people that are really there for you in your corner and not for selfish reasons. They're not going to be pumping you up just so you can do for them what somebody else wouldn't. They're not going to be pumping you up just so you can make a way for them. They're not going to be pumping you up just so you can support their plan and their vision. You are getting ready to get people in your circle that are going to love you and trust you for you and not for what you can do for them. But everybody's going to be on that same level ground to where they can work together in arm in arm and in harmony. And if nothing else from this motivational moment, part one that you can get today is that stop thinking that you are lame, because you are not. Because guess who knows your name? God knows your name. But that's what you got to hold on to for anything else. Because when God knows your name, ain't nothing else. Ain't no devil in hell can turn that down. Because all right, y'all, I got some big news. Big news. Y'all, let me tell you, we have gone to another level. We are getting ready to do something new. So one minute, I got something to show you. Wait a minute, and the Church Girl CEO magazine. Yes, y'all. I am a publisher for a magazine now. I don't know what to do with myself. See, this is why I can talk about myself. I can't even say a thing. But see, this is why I can talk about people making you feel lame. People telling you don't have the right look. You don't know how to, you don't speak. You don't this, you don't that. And that's now who is the new owner of Church Girl CEO magazine. So let me tell you, don't let anybody tell you what you can't do, because when God tells you to do it, when Jesus say yes, can't nobody say no. That's all I got to tell you. So I need you guys to go on over. We're going to have this running across the screen tonight. Go to churchgirlceomag.com. Get your copy of our new magazine. Y'all, I'm so excited about it. Our first cover is none other than Miss TJ Mercer. If you don't know who she is, I'm telling you, you got to get a copy of this magazine. And if you know who she is, you already know the interview for our cover was fire. And we have so many different things that are going on in the magazine. So many things that are going on in the magazine that we just got it's just so good and juicy. Child, I was dropping balls, baby. Them balls weren't doing nothing. Well, all right, y'all. I'm so excited about what we got going on. You already know I'm gonna play it again because I just got it. Whoop, 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 whoop. Y'all can see I'm so excited about what is happening. Because I tell everybody, if God can do it for me, he can do it for you. And when we come back, our guest will be on stage with me. Y'all, she is already here because y'all already know. If you know my guest and familiar with who I have, you know we getting ready to have some fun tonight on Conversations with Deborah Franklin. All right, y'all, got to play my commercial again. In the studio with me tonight. Y'all, I'm so excited. Y'all, I have none other than Pixie Lee, Miss Busy Bossy Mommy herself, is in the house. And tonight we are talking about, you heard what I said.
What I said.
And that means so many different things and so many different people. But first of all, before we get started, tell the people who you are and who you serve and what's going on with you.
Okay. Hello. For those of you who do not know me, I ain't gonna say you live under a rock, but you must live under a rock because I've been on here a couple of times. But it's your girl, Pixie Lee. I am the owner of Busy Bossy Mommy. I am content creator extraordinaire. I am also the owner of PL Publishing. I am co-owner of KDCP Network as well. So let me tell you, I'm the person with all the words. So that's why we're talking about I said what I said tonight, because I got something to say. I help people stay in front of their current clients and future clients on social media and digital platforms through word creation. That means you need it to be written, I can write it. If it's got to be said a certain way, I can put the certain spice that you're looking for in order to grab attention of that next person who's going to what? Cha-ching. Go ahead and slide their card and become your next client.
Woohoo! And you know, we all about the coin over here. Not all the bag. But we got to get the bag.
Get the bag.
But, you know, that is so cool because when we talk about, you heard what I said, so many times we do not articulate what we mean. We know what we mean up here, but when we write it, it doesn't come out right. And so this is why I tell a lot of people I have somebody to proofread some things that I do because I am a writer, but I'm not that kind of writer. So what do you say to someone who is a writer, but they just don't convey their sales message in a certain way?
So the first thing I would tell them is you absolutely need to let somebody proofread your stuff. Because what you have to realize is that the person that's reading it has to be like, oh, I want to know more. How do I get in contact with them? It's not only important that you say the right things, but it's also important that your personality shines through. That's why it's so important for you to show up as your true, authentic self every single solitary time. Not just when you're speaking, not just when you're on podcasts and interviews, but even through words. Because think about it. When you read a fiction novel, and you are in there and that thing done got good, you can see yourself and you be like, oh, if that was me, I would have did blah, 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 blah. Or you can be like, oh, she gonna get him when we get to the next page. That's what needs to come over in your sales stuff, not just in the pitch, not just in the conversation on the phone, but also when you're emailing and when you're sending notifications. Your newsletter needs to be written a certain way. Your magazine needs to be written a certain way, because you're looking to captivate not just the next client, but your audience too. You've got to draw them in with your words when they're not here for that conversation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, I think that is critical, because when we are communicators, so many times we think, oh, I can do I do radio, I do TV, I got a podcast, but you don't convey the same thing when you put that on paper. So
No.
so let's talk about authors.
Okay.
So many times authors can write so many books.
Mm-hmm.
What are some tips that you would give a new author that is trying to promote their book? How much of the book do they give away when they're trying to, let's say, write the intrigue out to get someone to purchase it?
So before I answer that question, let me say this. And I had an argument with a client over this. If you are blogging or you want to blog, do not blog your book. And let me tell you why. There's no need for the person to purchase your book and read your book. All they got to do is wait for your blog to come out. That's free. And you've given away everything. So it's strategic. I know everybody hates that word, but listen, you just can't go out here and just, strip down butt naked and then expect everything just to fall on me. No, everything about strategy. Everything has to work together. Everything has to be meticulously done and played. So when you are writing your book, or once you've written your book, when you're getting to the point of promotion, you want to tell what the book is about without telling the book. So again, let's go back to that fiction novel that you're reading. My sister say I'm a hopeless romantic. I'm the only one that still believe in magic. No, because everybody out here in the real world know that it take some doing for you to fall in love. There's no love at first sight. Well, I say it is. So as long as I'm still living, I'm the dying breed. So with that, if I'm reading a book, I want to read something that's going to be loving, romantic. So if I'm reading the back of the cover, I need to know what I'm going to get out of this book. So if I read the back of the book and it says, so Lisa went, and she is on a journey to find true love in herself. She needs to know that the man that God has for her is really out there. She has been through so many bad relationships and so many bad situations that she has hopelessly given up on love. So in this book, you're going to see her go to a getaway, and right before she knew it, boom, there he is. Now me, I'm like, well, what Lisa done been through? Let me swip over. Now let me read the table of contents. That plays a part as well. I tell my authors it's all a puzzle piece. So the most important pieces to promoting your book is the back cover, what you're telling people your book is about. It is the table of contents, because your titles of your chapters have to be captivating. They have to work with what you said was in the book. And then, of course, the introduction, because the introduction is wheeling that person in order for them to say, here we go. Let's turn the page.
Mm-hmm. That is so true. because I normally work with authors that want to work on. I know I got to use the word we don't like, collaborations or what's it,
Anthologies.
anthologies. In other words, you get together with a bunch of folks and you write a book.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is. What is one tip that you would give to anyone that is looking to do one?
So first, let me tell you, when you're looking to do a collaboration, because I hate that other A word.
Mm-hmm.
First, you need to pray and make sure that's what God told you to do. And I ain't trying to be funny. I'm being so
Oh, that
serious
is
and
so
never
real.
will tell
That is
you.
so real.
It is not easy.
Nope.
I don't care if you got 4 collaborators or you got 14. You however many you got in there, you need to multiply that by 2 because you got to deal with that person and that personality. Everybody has a different writing style. And if this is the first time that people are being involved in a collaboration, then they are literally walking in the dark and they're entrusting you to guide them through this process.
Mm-hmm.
But even though it's a lot of work, I would say on your very first one, you don't want to go over 7 authors. And here is why. Because you have to look at it that everybody's going to give you 1 chapter. So that's 7. And then you have an intro chapter and you may have a closing chapter.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to make the first one so long that people get lost in the middle and they never read to the end and actually get what's in the back, because everybody that's writing in it has a purpose, has a story, has a message. I live by the mantra that my story and my purpose and my trials and tribulations are not for me. Yes, they grew me and they catapulted me into something else. But my story and my message, my purpose is to help someone else. It is to give someone hope, inspiration, motivation, and give them a walking, talking, breathing example that this too shall pass. You do not have to stay where you are. It is a chapter in the story. It's not the last one. Turn the page.
page. Oh, I'm sorry, because you already know we be preaching some of the same thing.
I tell you.
Oh, and it's like that is so intriguing. So okay, so we're gonna stay on collaborations a little bit because we both have been a part of them. We have both hosted them.
Right.
Now, one thing I think I'm tired of seeing is everybody with their true stories in collaborations. What about doing collaborations where I'm sorry, did I say that out loud? I did. But
well, everybody think everybody want to hear their life story. I keep telling folks, don't nobody care. Nobody cares. And everybody think I'm being harsh, but that's the truth.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about doing one that's going to be a little challenging, because I think I'm going to use your 7 people model, but I'm going to be looking for 7 people to do short stories or, write a little short story. So what do you think about that?
First of all, I love it because it's different. Mm-hmm. I really want us to get out of doing things that we see other people do, and we just want to tweak 1 or 2 things because we didn't like the way they did theirs. So let's agree that we're gonna get away from that. But that's one reason my collaborations are biblically based, mm-hmm. and they are messages that people can use no matter what their current situation is. So I think, like I said, 7, that's it. I thought about 14, and apparently I wasn't doing it in the right manner. That's why the Lord didn't send me 14 people on this next one. You know what? I'm good with who I got, because what I know is that God will always send you the right people for whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing, and you rock it out.
That's it.
I think as long as you have a goal and when I say goal, of course it's business, so we want to make the money, mm-hmm. but the goal is not the money. That's the bonus. The goal is to reach somebody. Mm-hmm. So as long as you have a goal, a target audience, if you like that word better, and then the short stories, ma'am, is this going to be fiction or is this going to be Bible-based? Like, spill the tea.
You already know I kind of do both.
Right, so, that's why I asked spill the tea.
Yeah, so I'm going to spill a little tea. I can spill a little tea. Because, I've been playing around with this for a little bit. And so I'm already working on my own fiction book, which is like totally, yeah.
Right. It's a whole different lane.
Bad. So it's like I've been working on this fiction book, and it's like really cracking me up that I'm even writing what I'm writing, because I'm always like, do I need to put a pseudo name on it? Because I let somebody read that little first intro chapter. It was a little spicy. So yeah, I do
See,
have.
me and you always be sitting in the boat together because I'm helping a young lady write her book. And see, I'm waiting on the Lord to go ahead and speak to her and tell her that the title of this book is We Grown. But she embraced it, but she ain't took hold to it yet. And see, the
Yeah, and it's
book,
all good. And the crazy part, you already know mine's still gonna be biblically based, because it's actually gonna be. Oh, we already got the title. It's Church Girl CEO at Dark. But
see, this one, Jesus ain't been by this book.
well, it's okay because he got to come in and save somebody. But
but look, maybe this the one we say this for the grown folk that's married, because it's, it has that short story like you're talking about. It's 3 of us contributing to the book, but we're basically talking about sex. And that is so taboo. You say sex and everybody,
you know what? Okay, so I'm glad you look. Now you done flipped this conversation, because I think that fits right into what the title is. You heard what I said.
That part.
So the problem that we have is that we're so scared of talking about sex, and everybody is having sex. But why are we scared to talk about it? I have not. I'm sorry. One of the comments just made me laugh, because I don't know what that means. They like, not in my house, not in your house. What, you ain't having sex, or not
you ain't talking about?
You are having sex. See, I need to know what you're talking about. See,
can we get a follow-up comment?
You heard what I said.
I need you to come back and clean that up for us. Let us know what you mean about that.
Just like we put it there. We can't decode what you tried to encode.
Exactly. That book ain't been written yet. I don't know what
Yes, that's right, Lisa. We're going to break it down for you. We're getting ready to break this down, because you know what? So many times, and this is why I said I don't feel bad about writing the book that I'm writing, is because it's like, when are we going to start talking about it and being about it? Because yeah, we say, but let's tell the truth. Most people done had children. I might be the only one that has not, but you had to lay down to get them. And if you have not had any, you have experimented on trying to get them. Intentionally or unintentionally. So why are we so scared of talking about it? Because you a PK, and just go ahead and put it out there. We both in church. So why the church folks scared to talk about sex?
So look, Deborah done told y'all I'm a PK. Let me keep it all the way real. When I got married, 2 of my 3 kids was present at the wedding. So what does that tell you? I didn't wait. So when my girls' body started changing, and then they got their periods, we need to have a conversation. So I wanted to make sure that I was not that prude who was sitting up there pointing fingers and judging, because I want my girls to be comfortable enough to come to me. Let me give you the real truth. Let me give you some knowledge. Let me give you these regular English terms that you understand. I never wanted my girls to go out and talk to their friends who know less than what they know. And I don't want nobody to get them no confirmation, and then we got to go pee on the stick. I ain't got time for that. That is not the way my patience is set up. But I think one of the biggest, I'm just saying, listen.
I get it. As opposed to when they get their period, you just, oh Lord, what
we went and got pizza, and we went and hung out on the aisle in Kroger. We talked about the different pads. We talked about the different tampons. We talked about the scented and the unted and the different levels and all of it. So that way there was no, now true enough, we had this conversation in 5th grade, and they didn't get them until middle school. But when they got them, they weren't calling me crying, freaking out about it neither, because mommy has already armed you with information, and I've told you what you need to do. Okay, today was a surprise. It's the first one. Let me bring you some clothes, and we're going to go on with life. And that's the end of it. The biggest problem, and you know what? I'm going to just tell y'all about church folk. Now, I ain't telling you where I lie in this. I'm going to just tell you about church folk, because I am a PK. My daddy been preaching 50 years. I'm 41. You do the math. So the biggest problem with church folk and sex is we want to pretend now that we done met Jesus, we ain't never did nothing in the past. And we going to talk about these young folk who doing the same thing that we did when we were their ages. Again, remember, I told you your story is not for you. Your story is for someone else. I can look at a young lady who is 19 and say, hey, I got pregnant at 19 too. I can look at a young lady who had her first child and don't know what she's doing. Neither did I. My oldest daughter got all of her communication and nonverbal skills from my mother and my grandmother because I said she a baby, she can't talk, so I can't talk to her. Worst mother on the planet. I'm just saying. Oh, no. I'm just saying. Like I truly was. But I pride myself on being honest and open. Yeah, I'm saved. I love God, but I'm going to tell you, Jesus saved fools and babies, and I'm grown. So I know that I have got to be honest and open, get rid of that judgment, throw them lies back into the sea of forgetfulness, and have a real conversation with these kids nowadays, because kids are not waiting until high school before they go out here and start trying to figure out what's this and what this means. Well, when you do this, what happened? That's why y'all becoming grandmamas and y'all still got to raise these children. And now these children is having children and y'all releasing them on us and we having to raise all three of y'all.
Exactly. Because the grandmamas are 40 and 45. Anyway,
right.
Sex is not taboo in my house, ladies. You better check my resume. I'm not sure we need to. And yeah.
I don't know you well enough to look at your resume, Curtis.
That part. And then backsliding PKs are a gift from the heavens.
So, I'm really not talking to Curtis tonight.
I can't even. Normally, y'all know I'm pretty quick. I can't do that.
I'm not talking to Curtis tonight. Curtis on a whole nother level with this PK.
You know what, baby? We do need to do a PKs after dark show.
Y'all come on in at midnight. We're going to holler at you. For real.
Yeah, we're going to give you real. I tell everybody I wasn't a PK, but I had uncles, and the way my family was raised, you might as well say I was a PK because they knew exactly who we were. So, yes, I do understand the PK syndrome. But, it's so cool to be able to just have a conversation about what we're doing and how, because again, it goes back to what we're calling the show. You heard what I said. And that goes to say a lot, because how many times do we continue to talk, even in relationships, and people don't hear us? What do you think is the biggest hindrance for people in their communication and the other person doesn't hear them, especially in relationships, whether it's in a friendship or a romantic relationship?
I think the biggest problem when you are dealing with relationships and communication is the person is not listening to understand, they're listening to respond. So you talking and you're pouring out your heart and you're conveying it well, but because I'm closed down and I'm just ready to say, but you remember when, and I said, and I'm looking for that 1 second where I can jump in and give that rebuttal, I missed everything that you said.
Wow.
Good communication comes with listening first, then speaking. Wow. And I'm guilty because I have done it. Part of the reason I'm divorced now, because I never listened to hear him and understand him in order to fix the problems. I was listening because I wanted to reply and ultimately win the argument.
Right. And I think that's the biggest part of communications. Everybody want to win. And then we also get nervous in communications when you're, like you said, pouring it all out. And then you want a response. You want the rebuttal. And the other person is really listening to you, but you don't know how to handle it. So how do you handle it from the opposite side? The person that is not used to being listened to, but now can't accept that somebody's actually listening, and then may not respond to them to the next day because they're processing. How do we deal with that? Because I'm going somewhere with these questions.
So in that instance, the person that has to respond, that hasn't, who's just been listening and taking it all in, the first thing you need to do is confirm to them that you are listening and you did hear them. Don't leave them hanging and they think that they was talking to a wall and everything they said fell on deaf ears. Even if you do need to take 24 hours, say, hey, I hear you and I'm listening. Right now, I don't know what to say. So can we table this and let's come back tomorrow and let's talk about it. That way we can have a good dialogue, a good conversation. Because listen, all we need to talk is not bad. We put it in our head that it's bad, but it's not. Sometimes there's some good stuff that come out of those we need to talk and let's have a conversation and let's work through this or whatever. It ain't always bad, but we get burned on the bad ones. And so now we don't want to talk to nobody. Well, that's not going to be productive in your life in no relationship, romantic or otherwise.
Mm-hmm. And I said all that to say those questions were leading to this is how we learn to communicate, even when we are writing our post, when we're getting ready to write. We have to really listen to what the people are saying, listen to what they need. Because a lot of times you want to respond to what you think they need and not listening to what they really need. Because in my mind, I'm like, okay, y'all need to learn how to talk on camera. You need to learn how to sit straight. You need to know how to click everything. You also need to do it. And they're like, well, that's really not what my situation is. I really just need to learn how to ask questions. And you done went through everything else, and then you wonder why they not calling me.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's just like what you were doing. Because it's even when you are blogging, your newsletters, shouldn't that content be pertained to your audience?
Absolutely. And the best way to find out what your audience needs is to ask them. Poll the audience. Hey, y'all, listen, I'm now, Deborah, you know me. And you know, we be talking and we'll tell you in a minute. Girl, I'm tripping because this what happened. Let me tell you how I've been tripping.
I already did. I think I did that already today, but keep going.
Yeah, let me show you how I've been tripping all day long. You know, Facebook give y'all these memories, like what you did on this day all these years ago. It came up in my memories today that 6 years ago today, my sister and I had a conversation. And I remember this conversation. In this conversation, she said, you should start a blog.
Wow.
6 years ago today.
Wow.
When I saw that, I was like, let me tell y'all why I'm tripping. 2 reasons. One, I hated English class. So the fact that I'm a ghostwriter and I write books and I publish books and I do it for a living is hilarious. If you do not think God has a sense of humor, you and I should talk.
No, they need to talk to me first.
Right, but I'm just saying, I can confirm he does. Right. Secondly, I'm tripping because sometimes the conversations that we have is where people see something in you that needs to come out. People are seeing where you can go to another level using a skill set that you already have. Sometimes it's just their job to plant the seed and it's somebody else's job to water it. What do I mean? 6 years ago today, my sister said, you need to start a blog. When I met Candy 3 years ago, she said, you got all the words, you do all the writing. Why you ain't blogging for clients? It took 3 years for the Lord to send somebody to water that seed that my sister planted 6 years ago. And now I'm successful at it.
And I totally agree with you because I literally, okay, so now you're really making me trip because it's either yesterday or today. I think it was yesterday. I was like, you know, my grandmother would really be proud of me because she's the one that watered the seed for me, planted the seed for me to even be a writer. Because she was like, because she liked to read, and she said, I see you like to read, but she said, but one day I'm gonna be reading your books. And I was like, I ain't writing no books, girl, bye. And what? Books and now magazine, she would have been turning cartwheels like, you know, that's my baby. I'm like, yep, you're right.
See, every time somebody comes to you and they say they can see you doing this, don't be so quick to say, nah, that ain't me, that ain't my lane. And I'm not saying that everything is for you, but some stuff is seed planting. And some stuff you need to go back and say, Lord, is that you? Are you trying to tell me something? What is it? And then, you know, sometimes we need confirmations and the Lord understands that and he will send confirmations. Now, Don't be the hard-headed person where he got to keep sending them and keep sending them and keep sending them. I'm gonna need you to get it when he sends the first confirmation.
Exactly.
Because one thing I also know is that he doesn't give one idea to one person. He puts it out there for several people. And then if you don't act on what you've heard and what he's confirmed, then you're sitting back going, but the Lord told me to do that 5 years ago. But you're watching someone else be successful in what the Lord downloaded to you, and you delete it.
Okay, so let's take it another step further. Don't get discouraged if God tells you to do something and somebody else is doing it.
Absolutely.
Can we share that you got 2 book publishers on this call on this show right now? And we ain't intimidated by nothing that each other's doing. In fact, I'll call her, girl, how you do this? And vice versa. We got to learn how to work together, because your audience is not someone else's audience, and their audience is not theirs. And it goes back to what you were saying, Pixie, about your testimony is for who needs to hear it. Just like your voice and how you publish is what they need to hear. Exactly. And that's the biggest thing. And it definitely goes back to, you heard what I said. And actually, the you is God. God is telling you, you heard what I said. So now it's time for you to get up off your hind parts and get it done. Now,
he gonna always send somebody to help you. Now, I don't know if it was always Deborah's plan to own a magazine, but I promise you it was never on my spectrum.
Never.
Deborah has been in TV and radio. I listen to it. I watch it. I ain't never woke up and be like, I could be the executive producer. I could do what she doing. I could do that. No, I never did that. Never, not once. So for me to be part owner in the KDCP network, I'm the P. And then on top of that, my magazine dropped a week before Deborah's. Yeah, they're both biblically based, but they're both so different. So I'm looking at her commercial. Now, I done had a sneak peek into Deborah's magazine already. I'm just waiting. I got to place my order tomorrow. Please send me that link, because you know my memory ain't crap. I'm going to forget. So I already had a sneak, but see, mine completely different. See, there is an article from my uncle. So you know me, I take my uncle and my dad and I drag them into anything that I'm doing. So they got columns in my magazine. My uncle is talking about the year of 2021 being the year to open door, open opportunities, new beginnings, new things that you are going to embark on. And then Daddy is talking straight from the pastor's desk, and he's giving you an inspirational word for the whole year. I gave you something for the whole year. We got a scripture spotlight. There's an author spotlight. Why? Because I publish books. So of course I'm gonna tell you who I just published. That part. So even though they're both biblically based and they're all giving God honor, praise that he's due, we did it in a different manner. And so she can get my magazine and I can get her magazine, and we can read it and be like, girl, I did not know that. So next time, because you know they come out quarterly, so they're gonna always be a week apart. Now, when you do this next time, I need the and when I do this, I need you to please and thank you.
And that's it, all of that.
We gotta stop being intimidated by working with people. It's enough. Look, since everybody worried about the money, it's enough money out here to go around. It's enough people out here who need to hear your message. It's enough people out here that are looking for people to stand up and talk and be boisterous, that the same people that are going to be touched by what I said ain't even sitting on here tonight. They might be sitting on something else that I do. That's why it's important for you to be in the seat, Church Girl CEO VIP, so she can tell you how to show up, and you can show up in other places instead of Church Girl CEO, because I was somewhere else last night, and be visible and tell your story.
And the crazy part about it, Church Girl CEO kind of show up everywhere, because especially for me, because I be showing up. Okay, so y'all, I'm sorry. Y'all know this whole Church Girl CEO thing is tripping me completely out. Can I just be real transparent? Real transparent. Because the whole Church Girl CEO has just blown up in less than a year. Now, I have been doing things up until this point, but the Church Girl CEO piece has really just took wings and has flown. I mean, to just come off of a conference, workshops, and doing stuff in less than a year, that ain't nothing but God. That's why I tell everybody, when God gets in the midst of what you are doing and you make him the CEO for real, you're going to start to see things just start to speed up. It's not, and you're like, wait a minute, but I've been doing this for years. Y'all, I'm with you, Pixie. I had memories popping up on Facebook of me talking about, you can do it. You got this. And it's like, well, I was saying this like 4 or 5 years ago. So I've been like motivating myself to get to this point. And there is no time limit, because this is where I was sharing with some other people. I said, you know what? We've been getting ready for the shifting. And those of us that were ready during this shift, during this time of COVID, we have definitely been able to pivot and see things in our lives be accelerated because we were ready. We were not stale. Like a lot of these people are not making because they were stale and crispy and crusty. We were like the fresh fruit. So when you got fresh fruit and fresh wind, that's what people want to see and hear. So this is why we've been able to, I'm just being real, and I don't even know where this is coming from, because this is for somebody, because I ain't even thought about this. This is why we've been able to catapult things a lot faster than others, because we have been that fresh fruit and that fresh wind. And we are coming in with quality, not quantity, but we giving quality, and we're giving people value for what we're doing. And the crazy part, correct me if I'm wrong, seeing our value. You tell me.
Absolutely. Listen, y'all got to get to the point. Y'all stop looking at this coronavirus as a bad thing. Now, from a worldly standpoint, my heart bleeds for those people who lost their family members. I have lost someone close to me to this same thing. But on the flip side of that, I have seen my children healed. I have seen my sister-in-law healed. I have seen my niece healed. I have seen friends of my family healed. I have seen businesses birthed, not just my publishing company. I made my father an author for the first time in the middle of a pandemic. I made my uncle a published author in the middle of a pandemic. So sometimes the Lord have to do things to sit us down, to slow us down, and put us in a position where now we are asking all the right questions. Lord, what is it you will have me to do? What do I need to be doing right now to get ready for when the city open back up? And that's how you get your fresh stuff. Like Deborah said, we've been doing this. We know how good we are. But see, some other things had to happen, and we had to be shifted and put in certain situations, and other people had to be put in certain situations in order to be able to see what they already had right in front of their face. The people that they had right in their network that are right there on their friends list. Yeah, we picked up some new friends, but some of y'all been hanging out with me since I joined Facebook. Some of y'all been knowing that I was a PK all 41 years of my life.
All of that.
That part.
All of that.
That part right there.
God got a way of just showing out right when we least expect it. Now you got something that's coming up.
I do.
And we are already at the end of the show. I'm getting ready. Look, y'all know, right? Y'all know, I don't know what happened, but we just been going. And we still didn't cover all the content that we were supposed to.
See, that's the thing. I know, and I told Penny, I said, now this show is set up to be 30, 45 minutes. The clock says 53 and counting. We come up every time KDCP show up. It is not going to be the regular show. We going over, so get your tea, get your pen and paper. You're going to get some good stuff, but you're going to get some laughs too.
Exactly. And okay, so since we talk about the pandemic and we talk about how God do things, I told somebody, if God had not made me move and shifted the situation that I was in, I would not be sitting here tonight.
See what I mean?
And I'm being honest. There is no way in the world that I would still be in Maryland and doing this and would have connected with the ladies that I have connected with to even get Church Girl CEO up and running, because I would have been so focused on everything else that was around me as opposed to focusing on what God had told me to do. So see, sometimes you can look at a situation that you like, okay, God, why me? Why me? This is why you. because he needed to get you in a position that you were able to do what he had called you to do and not what you wanted to do. And then so many times we get caught up as church folks, as folks that are always into stuff, and we get caught up in the tradition of it, the and not we're not giving because we want to give, we're giving because it's expected of us.
Absolutely.
And on that note, I'm dropping that and I'm getting ready to turn this right on over to you so you can tell people what you got coming up, because I'm expecting them to do this. Yes.
So I know from a business standpoint, there are several questions that you've asked yourself. Do I need to create content? Why is it so hard? What do I need to say? How do I get started? Is it really necessary? Is there a formula to it? The answer to all these questions is yes. Yes, you need to do it. Yes, it needs to be done sooner than later. And yes, there's a formula. Then let me also confirm some other questions. I want my business to grow. I need to find new clients. I need to know how to reach that next person, but I don't know where to start. Well, listen, if you said any of those things as well, then next Saturday from 1 to 5, and yes, Deborah, that is Eastern time, I am going to be doing a blogging workshop. And we're going to cover a lot of stuff. Like, I got a lot of stuff planned for you. I'm going to talk to you about why you need a blog. Why is it important? We're going to also talk about how to choose the right words when you're trying to get to that next client. So the example I gave last night was when you're doing your resume, you want to make sure that you stand out. If you remember the movie Legally Blonde, when Elle went to college to, she was going to catch her man in law school, she had to do the entrance application and all of that. Well, she did a video. So now she's standing out. When she had to apply for the summer internship, everybody gave a regular resume on white or cream paper. Hers was pink and it was scented. So now she's still standing out. So why am I saying that? You have to stand out. So you have to make sure that you're using the correct words. So I'm going to give you some tips that I use when I blog for myself and when I blog for my clients. And the only way that you're going to get these tips, because I'm not going to tell you what they are tonight, is you have to go to workshops.busybossyMommy.com and secure your seat. I'm only taking 25 people. And when I tell you it's filling up fast, you do not want to be left out in the dark. Let me tell you what the blessing is for you doing it next Saturday. The intro price, hear me what I said, you people of God. The intro price is $49. That means when I offer this class again, it will not be $47. So I know for a fact that everybody got 4 hours to hang out with me, and you got $49 to do it. It's not even a cool 50. It's only $49. So go ahead, go to this website and secure your seat. I promise you, you will not be sorry, because when you leave out of there, you're going to know exactly what your blog is supposed to do. You're going to know how often your blog should go up. You're going to know what the true purpose of your blog is. It's not just to get your next client, but there is a formula that goes to all of that. And I'm going to give it to you next Saturday, May 1st from 1 to 5. So go ahead and secure your seat. Don't meet me there. Beat me there.
Okay, so just a FYI, I am there. I am registered because you know what, and I'm gonna say this, and we really gonna wrap this up for real. Is that don't think that you know it all. Yes, you may have a blog now, but is your blog giving you any results?
Exactly.
And so, and then don't be afraid to go learn some new tips or make sure that you're doing the right thing. And honestly, at $49, you have no reason not to be there, because that's cheaper than going to buy the book. That's cheaper than going to go Google and searching it. That's cheaper than going to Amazon and trying to figure out which book to get. You end up with 7 books and it still don't answer all your questions. And in an intimate setting, because I promise you I'm coming with my questions. I'm coming in my sweats and my t-shirt because I'm coming ready to work. And that's the thing. Y'all got to come ready to work. And for $49, you better get in. You better get in now, because I'm gonna tell you right now. This is our new saying. What's our saying, Pixie? They better get us when?
You better get me on the ground level, because I'm telling you, once I figure it out, you're going to be sorry you didn't. You're going to be sorry. But I'm telling you, it took me a minute to get around the learning curve. And one thing I like to do is help others avoid the curve that I got stuck in. So that's why I'm willing to teach you all that I've learned. Well, most of what I learned, in order to make sure that if you already have a blog, like Deborah said, your blog is being productive. Are you pointing your blog in the right direction? Is it doing something that it's supposed to do? When people read your blog, it's like reading this fiction novel. Are they intrigued enough to say, how do I get in contact with this person right here? If it's not doing that, then we definitely need to talk, because we need to revamp it. And there's nothing wrong with revamping, and look, let me say this. We get so comfortable with, and we think it's a badge of honor when we say we're rebranding. And so I got a new vision or whatever. Everything don't have to be rebranded. Sometimes you're just adding another element and entity to your business that's going to work together in order for you to be successful. So we're going to add that to the list of words that Pixie hates. So right now we got anthology, we got mastermind, and now we got rebranding. So,
oh my God, I hear mastermind one more time, I'm screaming, because a lot of people don't really know what that means. But
why anyway, you think mine ain't no mastermind? Because I'm tired of that word.
It's going to be an extended workshop. And the cool part about this, and then I have one question about the workshop. We will be discussing platforms, because a lot of times we want to write the blog, but we don't understand what platforms we should use.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, awesome.
And I'm always going to tell you what's cost effective.
Yeah, I like those meetings.
Yes, I'd like to do cost effective stuff, because listen, as business owners, we like to count the coins, but we want to make sure we keep more coins, and we don't have too many things that are doing the same thing, and we're paying for them 3 times. So yeah, it's going to be cost effective.
I like it, because I got so many platforms right now. I'm getting dizzy. It done got to the point I got everything dinging me, so I can make sure I double check. Look, nope, you're not getting paid next month. Nope, you're getting
that right there. Yeah. Or you could be like me and double book yourself, because I'm gonna show up for y'all next Saturday, and I'm gonna be fabulous in my showing up. But just know we're gonna be on location.
Oh, yeah. And on that note, y'all, it has been fun. It's been real. Pixie, go ahead and share with the people how they can find you, how they can get in touch with you, and just give them one word to close us out for tonight.
So if there was one word that I would give to you, I would say it would be encourage. So, and why am I picking that word? Because sometimes people download stuff into our spirit. People say things to us, and we're discouraged by what we hear. But you shouldn't be, because sometimes people see something in you that you never knew you had, and now they're just here to bring it out of you. Don't be afraid and don't be discouraged. Be encouraged that somebody sees growth potential in you. Somebody sees where you can be a better version of you and go to the next level, not just in your business, but in your personal life and in life in general. While we're navigating this thing called life, you only get one shot. So it is everybody's goal, or at least it should be, for you to live life on purpose and purposely live the life that you have. You get one shot at it. So don't stay stuck in one place, and don't be closed-minded. Embrace whatever God has for you, whatever life has for you. Embrace that and be ready to go into your next season. You can connect with me on social media under Busy Bossy Mommy, both Instagram and Facebook. If you want to connect with me personally, I am on Facebook under Pixie Lee. If you want to shoot me an email, pixielee@busybossymommy.com. I do respond to my emails all the time. Let's have a real conversation and let's chat.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, guys, you already know what it is. I love you to life. Look forward to seeing you. And again, ain't nothing you can do about it. But all right, guys, have a great night. And make sure that you go on over to our YouTube channel and subscribe to our Church Girls. Oh, Lord. Well, you can subscribe to that one, too, because we got a lot of stuff going to be dropping on that pretty soon. But we have 2 YouTube channels, Church Girls CEO and Conversations with Deborah Franklin. Make sure you go on over and subscribe, and you already know what's getting ready to play us out.